Hey guys, Stephanie, the Unbroken Truth. Today we're going to be diving in a little deep. I want to talk about ways that we end up kind of self sabotaging, okay? We end up getting stuck sometimes after we've left abusive relationships. We get stuck in these habits. In my time working with people, I've noticed that things go one of two ways. You either get healthy and you start working on yourself and you're going to therapy and you're starting to exercise and you're getting into, things with friends and all of that, and things are going really great, right? Those people usually stay single for a little while they're trying to heal. The other way that it goes is that you fall into a what I call a quick fix relationship. It's the rebound guy, you know? But with these relationships, they don't work like most rebounds do because you get very attached to them very quickly. They can throw up all the red flags in the world, but you're looking at someone who's going to save you. Those are the most dangerous relationships because they keep you in a pattern. You just continuously do all of the things that you were doing before, and they come to expect those things. You're still looking at it as being trapped under the same rules, the same regulations, put in the same position that you were before. You fall back into those same cycles of depression, fighting, anger, and then what? You finally get out and you do it all over again. And that's what I want to talk about. Getting the quick fix relationship seems to be the more popular option, and that's really worrisome. I know in today's society we are really used to kind of getting what we want immediately, having all of those comforts right away. And when we're battling something like healing from a toxic or an abusive relationship, it's just not going to be quick. It's going to take a very long time. And a lot of people can't work through that without having somebody next to them. And sometimes it's really good to have somebody next to you because you've got somebody who's a good partner who understands what you're going through and helps you work through things. And that is fantastic. What I'm talking about are the people who just fall in with the same type of people. We have to start stepping away and focusing on what we want and what we need. So even if you move into a new relationship, be sure that you're being focused and open and communicating with your partner about where you really are mentally. I think that a lot of us don't do that because we're afraid of being called crazy. I've kind of gotten over that. You call me crazy, whatever. It is what it is. Uh, but I know the situation really well, guys. I've fallen into this situation. I've done this so many times when I was younger, leaving ones that were very toxic. And I've had them toxic in all kinds of different ways. They weren't all like beating me or anything, but the bad thing is that I have to say they weren't all. But I did go through a lot of the different types of toxic relationships because I kept cycling. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is, guys, if you didn't and you decided you didn't stay single and you decided that you wanted to move into this new relationship with this person, I want to talk about ways that you can improve yourself while still being in that relationship if you want to do this and be healthy and focus on yourself. So I have got a list of top 10 things that you need to stop doing. I know, crazy, right? Yes, you should have a talk with the new partner if you plan on implementing these things after a pattern has already been put in place, okay? They need to be able to understand that it's not something that they did. It's very important, guys, to consider the other person's situation as well. When they are with you while you're going through these things, you're a mess sometimes. I know I am. So there has been times that I have been just a bawling mess. I've gotten triggered in really weird places for certain things, or thought I saw certain people in the crowd and just freaked out. And the person that's with me, God love him, he's, my spouse has actually done quite well with it, but I know there's been plenty of other times I've seen boyfriends literally look at people who are going through horrible things and be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what is going on, because they've never communicated those things to their partner. They keep that close to them because they're ashamed of it. They're ashamed of having to heal. And there's no reason to be ashamed of healing, of what you go through when you're healing. It is a messy process. It is perfectly okay to be breaking down in the shower. It's perfectly fine to, leave the dishes for a couple of days. It's okay to wash them twice. I saw a great video on that, just, you don't have to pre-wash them and all that stuff. Throw them in the dishwasher, turn it on twice. It'll be fine. I promise. Just let it go, Anyway, I got off track. I do that. ADHD's a mug. So 10 things you need to stop doing. All right. 1, asking for permission. So this is one, the reason why it's number 1 is because I was absolutely terrible about this. Okay. And to tell you the truth, I still kind of do it in a way. I got into the habit of asking permission for literally everything. I mean, hey, do you mind if I go in there and draw in my book? You shouldn't have to do that. Stop asking for permission to do regular things. Establish yourself as someone who can handle themselves and what they want to do throughout the day. You don't need permission from anyone. And I know that's hard. That one's kind of hard to overcome because it was difficult for me to stop asking permission when I got into a healthy relationship, and my significant other would consistently tell me, you don't have to ask me to go do that. Men, if you're in a relationship where women are doing this, tell them, be verbal with it. You don't have to ask me for permission to do that. You don't have to ask for permission to do anything. It'd be nice. It's always nice, of course, it's a respect thing. Let your partner know if you're wanting to do something that is, of course, they always bring up the going out thing and all of that. Yes. There are situations in which you should ask, talk to, whatever, with your partner, be like, hey, these are the people, it's a respect thing, okay? It's just, everybody kind of wants to know. We're all kind of like, what you doing? I can't hate on that, but you shouldn't have to ask permission to, walk to a friend's house or whatever. You should be like, hey, I'm going to walk over to little Susie's house, whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm going to walk over to my friend's house real quick and, do whatever. It shouldn't be, hey, do you mind if I go over to my friend's house? And I still see so many girls do it. It's just common practice now, and I don't like it. Maybe it's just common practice in my area. I know the South is very much different than the northern regions. I have a friend that lives up north, and she consistently tells me, like, yeah, they don't do that here. It's great. And I'm like, what do you mean they don't do that here? I need to move, but I can't see in the snow. I don't know how you guys do it up there, or anywhere where it snows, or it gets, like, below, 40? Once it hits freeze, they're like, what are y'all doing? How y'all survive that? How do you drive? Anyway, we're off topic. Apologizing for the condition of your home. This is going out to the moms out there who are battling depression and who are battling their triggers, who are still trying to keep up with the kids, who are doing schoolwork right now. God knows you're doing some of the schoolwork yourself. You're playing teacher and parent. You're also having to go to work. There's so many things going on with moms right now. If your house is a mess, that is perfectly fine. Even if we weren't in a pandemic and you weren't having to teach your children and you were just dealing with your mental health and your house is an absolute mess, it's okay. Do not sit there and apologize for that. If it needs to be cleaned, the other people in the home can help you. I promise they know how to do dishes. Because I know most of the time you take care of it. And sometimes it's their turn to take care of you. And that's okay. That's what family and partnership is about. That's what you're signing on for, right? All right. think I made that part clear. Cooking every night. That kind of goes with my first thing. You don't have to cook every night. Make it like a thing. If you're like worried about it, make it a thing where it's like, hey, you know what? On these days, it's fend for yourself night. That way, whenever you have a really bad breakdown and you're like, I just can't do this today, the people are used to taking care of it themselves. And if you have young children, the spouse is used to helping out. And if you're with a spouse who isn't going to help out with your kids, if they're not their kids, you may want to rethink that relationship as well. Because your kids are your life. They're going to be there. I don't care. They turn 18, they go do college and all that. You're going to have your kids in your life for the rest of your life. And if your spouse isn't willing to help out whenever you can't, for any reason, who knows? You could have some medical reasons as well, you know? Get the people in your life in the habit of taking care of themselves sometimes. I know when people who battle from abusive and toxic relationships tend to become heavy caregivers. We are very empathic to other people. We just want to make everybody happy because that's what we're used to doing to keep the peace. You have to focus on yourself sometimes. You have to make sure that you're happy. Because if you're not happy within yourself, deeply, truly happy, not putting on that mask and saying, yeah, everything's great. No, being actually happy. If you're not actually happy, that's going to come out. That's going to explode at some point. You're not going to be able to hide how you really feel. And then you're in a situation where you're ripping apart relationships when it didn't have to be that way. Get out of those patterns of putting yourself last. That's what all of these come down to. And I'm not even done yet. Wearing your old clothes. So this one's kind of personal for me as well. I had a lot of old clothes from the TV show. And one of the first really healthy, clean things that I did for myself was to get rid of all of them. And maybe have like 2 or 3 pieces left, because there were certain things that I really wanted to kind of hold on to for other reasons, but that was the thing. They had good memories attached to them. So everything else I got rid of. And I think it was one of the best decisions. And quite honestly, I thought about it, you know, when I was putting this all together. I've done that for just about every relationship that I've ever ended. I have absolutely just thrown away everything. I'll start over. No biggie. And I did. I've started over with absolutely nothing so many times after relationships. You know, I'll grab a couple of bags on the way out or something like that, but you know, don't have to go that far. If you have the ability to actually get your stuff packed up, that'd be great. If you don't, just leave. And I know we were talking about things to do once you're in a healthy and stable relationship, but just in case someone is listening who isn't and they're looking at that whole leaving thing, since we're on the topic, just go. You can look, dude, thrift stores are everywhere. Thrift stores are the best, especially after you're getting out of a relationship like that. Oh my gosh, like you can pretty much refurnish and reclothe everyone in your house for like almost nothing. Yeah, DM me. We'll set up like a GoFundMe or something, because like, yeah, we can do this. You can do this. I promise. Wearing your old clothes also is a reminder of the person that you were before you left. That person was very strong because that person did ultimately leave. Okay? You, who you were then, who you are now, you are a strong person. You are a worthy person. You are worthy and deserving of a new damn wardrobe. You hear me? Go shopping. I don't care if you go shopping at the thrift store. I don't care if you go shopping at a freaking friend's house. Did I just edit myself? Be you. Be who you want to be. Dress how you want to dress. If you want to show your tummy, show your damn tummy. I want you to become that person, though, and to do all of those things before you jump into a new relationship. And this is important because when you're in that new relationship, the person that they meet is who they're going to expect. If you go into that relationship and you are very conservative because you're used to doing that because of your last relationship, and you're wearing all of these things, and you go out for a night one night, and all of a sudden you want to rock this awesome dress that you found. It's real low neck. It's got slits up the sides. You are looking like a hot little tamale. Oh, princess. And then he sees you and is like, that's very different. Is everything okay? Like, because believe it or not, guys do actually genuinely worry about that kind of stuff when we make massive changes. It's not just like a oh, you don't trust me thing. I mean, you just showed a massive flip change right there. They can get triggered too. They're allowed to worry. They're allowed to be like, is everything okay? You know? Understand that about your partner as well. That's why it's important to let them see all of these things before you're in a deep committed relationship. They need to know the you that you want to be. Okay? I think we've really kind of ground that one in there. Saying I'm sorry anytime something doesn't go perfectly, especially things that are out of your control. I would say I was sorry for literally everything. And I found myself saying I'm sorry all day. So did a friend of mine. We have both experienced very bad domestic abuse. We've experienced life as children, experienced child abuse. We apologize consistently. And that is something that really, if you can stop doing any of these things, if you can only pick one, please stop saying I'm sorry so often. It is a consistent blame that you're putting on yourself that you don't need. You don't need that blame. It's not your fault. Not making plans with friends or alone. You should be able to go out with your friends. You should be able to go to their house. You should be able to see them, play with their kids, go to birthday parties. You should be able to do all of those things, even if your man is at work. Even if he doesn't want to go. Even if there's going to be lots of people there. You should be able to go. Stop saying, I can't go. He's got to work. Things like that. Why not? That's a habit that was built into you from your abuser because he wouldn't let you go places by yourself. If the new person that you're with is the person that you're supposed to be with, he will have no issues, or she will have no issues with you going and seeing your friends and doing things when they can't attend. Let yourself still live life. You don't have to just sit at home and wait for them. That's another very important one. I think these are all very important. I can't say that there's just one. Oof, number 7. Ouch. So this is one that I want you to stop doing because it really does bother your partner, whether they say it or not. Stop hiding your phone. You are not in the situation that you were in. You're happy. You're not doing anything wrong. Stop hiding your phone. Stop feeling like you have to put it face down. It's something built into you, I know. Because when you were trying to leave, you knew you had that fear in you that you might get a message about it. That somebody might say something about it that you've told them. So you hid your phone. Because you were scared. You were like, man, I've sat there and told my best friend about all these things that he did. What if he gets on there and he sees it? And for some women, that's a very big consequence. I'm not talking about him getting mad and, breaking your phone. I'm talking about, I've known women who literally have been very badly hurt over phones. If you're with someone who is good to you and who is trying to do their best to help you through this, it honestly is a show of trust, a show of love, a show that you are trying to heal. Try to be mindful of that, because I know that you do it just out of habit and you're not doing anything wrong. You're not hiding anything, but it's just a habit that was built into you. I actually put this one on here because at one point in my relationship that I'm in now, my boyfriend actually mentioned it to me, because there's a line in a movie somewhere, it was, or something, pimps always keep their phone down, something like that. And I was making a joke about it, and I was like, and I slid my phone down with it face down, and he goes, "You always do that though. What you trying to tell me? Trying to pick on me a little bit, And I thought about it, and I was like, I think that's just a habit that I've always done, It just kind of brought something up. So I wanted to make sure to put that one on there. All right, guys. Number 8. Disclosing too much. I talk a lot about communication, and I think that with this one, I want you to remember that you do have the right to your own feelings and not telling your partner every single little thing. Because, we talk so much about, be very open with them, let them know what you're going through and all of that. But there are some things with some situations that are going to be very difficult to disclose, especially with someone who's relatively new. And I don't ever want to put the impression out that you should give them every little piece, because, I've been in relationships that after a couple of years, they were a completely different person. And if you've spent that whole first year disclosing every little piece of yourself, you feel like, it's just another person out there that knows all of those things about you that you don't really want them to know anymore. It's okay to leave out some of those details and work through them with yourself, with your therapist, with your, your best girlfriend, if it's a guy, your best guy friend, or whatever, just your person. We all have a person. I hope we all have a person. If you don't have a person, reach out and start trying to talk to people. There's a lot of people out there who want to connect with other people. So, and always, I'm always chatty on the forums and things like that. So you can drop by and say hi to me. The thing is, you also don't want to have your new spouse's opinions and their bias and things like that in your head while you're trying to work these things out for yourself. They weren't there. They have no idea what all of the real situation was. So try to keep that in mind. It's okay to keep some things for yourself. It's okay to not give them every little piece of you. And it's okay to later give them that piece of you, that information. It's okay to talk to them about it, once you feel comfortable. But just know that anything you're not comfortable with sharing, you really don't have to. And that's not something against you. He shouldn't hold that against you. Your partner shouldn't hold that against you. Your partner should understand that you are actively trying to work through those things. Number 9. Oh, I'm not good at this. Number 9 is always saying yes. Guys, for 27 years, pretty much always said yes. I just kind of went with everything that happened. I was so beaten down as a kid and a teenager, and just kind of I was kept into this work mode, so that, yes sir, that's just what you did. You just said, yes, sir. And that's how you treated adults. And moving forward, that's how I treated men in my relationships, because that's what I was taught. Yep. Yes, of course. Yes, 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 yes. Whatever you want. Because I have to keep you happy. That will burn you out. You know that. I'm not telling you anything. You're already burnt out, aren't you? You're burnt out. I can see it. Yeah. It's because you're saying yes all the time to try to keep the peace, because you're so scared of what's going to happen. With someone who's not abusive towards you, they understand that you're not going to say yes all the time. It's okay for you to not have everything in common. That's actually something that's good for relationships, because it allows you to introduce them into things that they might not know about that you really like. Don't get trapped in the cycles. Don't get trapped in the cycles of just saying yes and we'll do whatever you want. So, just to be clear, you don't have to say yes to everything. It's okay. You can totally say no sometimes. Give you permission. All right. Number 10. Let's go ahead and get this thing wrapped up. Holding the weight of the world. That's what I want you to stop doing. I want you to stop looking at everything around you as the end of the world, the next crisis, the next breakdown. Try to look at everything and every day as new opportunities and new things, good things. Let yourself be loved and cared for. Take that time and communicate with your partners about everything that you want and everything that you can communicate to them. Set those boundaries in place. It's okay to do this if you've been with someone for a few years as well. Tell them, I haven't been happy with some things that I've been doing. Tell them why. Tell them you feel like you've fallen into patterns because of relationships you've had before, and that it's not their fault, that they've done nothing to do this. If they have, that's a whole nother discussion. Feel free to hit me up. We'll talk about it. If they haven't, though, give them that opportunity, because you don't want to mess up a good thing because you're stuck in the habits that you created with something that was terrible, because you got stuck being the person that your abuser created out of just sheer desire to survive. You don't have to be that person anymore. You can be free. You can be the person you want to be. You can dress how you want to dress. You can talk to the people you want to talk to. You can do those things. But you have to let yourself. You have to remember that you do hold that power, and that anyone who tries to stop you can get the fuck out of your way. All right, guys. I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining in with me, and hopefully I will see you on the forum soon. Bye, guys.